Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. And today, I'm gonna just be saying my afterthoughts and my reaction to the Xander Zayas, Jerome Buzenis fight that just happened recently today or yesterday because it's like 12 in the morning. Man, and I gotta say, what a fucking fight, man. That was an amazing fight. I think as of right now, best fight of the fucking year. I mean, that has to be fight of the year. Zayas stood tall. He stood in the ring with all purpose and defended his belts to the maximum extent that he can with a machine of a boxer in Boots, bro. I mean, the fight itself was clinical. We had Boots being a surgeon in the first round. We had him knocking down Zayas. Zayas, he didn't look hurt. He just looked, a little bit stunned. He looked, wow, okay, this shit's real. And then come the third round, Zayas hurts Boots. I mean, I was amazed that he was able to hurt Boots at all because he isn't, typically a power puncher like I said in my prediction video. However, he was able to damage and hurt Boots in the third round. However, Boots recovered very, very well, and he went on to outboxing and, hurting and outpointing Zayas, nearly every single round except for the third round. And then ultimately he got the knockdown again in the fifth round. Boots knocked him down with a beautiful uppercut, timed perfectly. And then he hurt Zayas a little bit more. Ref was like, yo, dude, lock in game. What you doing? You know what I mean? And then seventh round, Boots put down Zayas again, and the corner ultimately had to stop it. It was a very, very good fight. Honestly, the fight showed us two things. First of all, that Zayas being 23 years of age, has heart, has a big chin, and I think if he moves up to 160, he'll become champion once again. 160 for Zayas right now. You know what? I'll leave that to the end. For Boots, we also saw Boots. He looked human in that fight. Honestly, even though he looked like a machine. 154 is definitely his weight class, but he did look human in the third round. He did get hurt. I feel like his eyes just had a little bit more pop in his punches, and was able to capitalize off of that. I feel like he would have dropped Boots, maybe even stop him if it came to that. However, I think that Zayas did a good job, with the tools and the experience that he has. Boost Boost is just a different animal, man. I mean, he's so good. His speed, his reflexes, his power, his explosive power carries. It carries up to 154. And, now after his fight, Eddie Hearn is saying that, Boost wants to be undisputed at 154. He wants Ortiz, he wants Fondora, he wants Josh Kelly. And I feel like we got to talk about Xander Zayas first. So for Zayas, I do believe that he should go up to 160. He looked massive against Boots. He looked very, very massive. So I believe a step up to 160 is in the cards waiting for him. 160 is very open right now. Other than, I think, Carlos Adames. I don't know if he vacated his belt. I don't remember. But other than Carlos Adames, you have Janabek still banned from popping steroids. And then you have Aries Landelara being the WBA. But other than that, 160 is very, very open. Not a lot of champions. And a lot of them are going to vacate and move up to 160 anyway. I mean, you've heard Janabek. There are some rumors that Janabek wants to move up to 168. We also have Adames wanting to move up to 168 and want the Hamza Shiraz rematch again, which I do believe that he got robbed in. However, apart from that, 160 is very, very open, and I do believe that will be Zayas' new weight division pretty soon. I mean, he looked massive against Boots. He looked like, 185, 190 at least in there. And Boots looked kind of small. I can't lie. His explosive power carries, to a big dude like Zayas, but Zayas looked big in that ring, bro. I can't lie. And I think Zayas' next move has to be 160. I feel like it'll do him good because maybe we might see some more pop in him. He won't have to drain his body that much. And also, I think his chin will hold up even better. I mean, he's already shown incredible heart, and his chin is incredible as well. That chin needs to be studied because Boots was landing some serious hitters on him that would have made anybody from 147, 154, possibly even 160, just knocked down and get knocked out. But Zayas stood tall, he stood firm, and he ultimately took the punishment and only got knocked down 3 times inside the fight, which is insane. So I think Zayas' next move should be going up to 160, chasing the champions there, and becoming a unified champion there again. Now for Boots, and this is the big thing, Eddie Hearn. Man, Eddie Hearn's riding on Boots so hard right now, but you know what? It's okay, no homo. Ultimately, I think what needs to be next is Boots versus Ortiz. I mean, Virgil Ortiz called it. He called it, 24 fights, 22 knockouts. Boots has an incredible knockout ratio as well. Boots is now a unified champion, WBA, WBO. He's the only unified champion in the division. And Fundora and Josh Kelly ultimately don't have another belt, obviously. So I think definitely the next fight after Virgil Ortiz gets his contract fixed with Golden Boy or gets signed with whoever he wants to, Boots gotta be the next fight, man. I mean, they've been calling it, they've been saying it since last year, since no, not since last year, since like a few years now. They've been hyping it up. Boots is now a unified champion at Virgil's division. Virgil has yet to win the title, by the way. He has yet to become a world champion. So, I mean, it clears two birds with one stone. You become a unified champion and you beat Boots in the fight. So that'll be very, very interesting to see. We also have, the other champions. We have Sebastian Fundora. We also have Josh Kelly holding the IBF. We have Fundora holding the WBC. Ultimately, what I see for Boots is Boots needs to fight Virgil Ortiz. Get that fight out the way. Another fight of the year, obviously. I mean, that fight is going to be explosive. And then from there, I see him becoming undisputed very, very easy. I mean, I don't see any tools that Fundora or that Kelly has that will trouble or maybe even hurt Boots. I mean, Kelly's a very good mover, very good stick and move, very good jab, very good defense. Ultimately, I see Boots knocking him out though because he's that special of a fighter, man. I mean, he's just incredible to watch. And then you have Sebastian Fundora. Ultimately, I also see him being knocked out by Boots. I think Boots will take his time more because ultimately, Sebastian is like a big boy. I mean, 6'6" at 154 is insane. But ultimately, I do see him getting that title easy as well. The only person I see giving Boots problems is Virgil Ortiz. And the reason why I say that is that his power will be a problem and his frame will also be a problem. Even though Boots was the more explosive and more powerful fighter, we did see how he held up in the clinch game, and it's not everything in the world. I mean, you don't have to fight in the clinch. But Zayas, even though he was outgunned, I would say is still the stronger fighter in there. I believe he was still the stronger fighter. It's just that Boots just has great explosiveness, man. He's just very, very explosive. That's where he gets his power from. Power is equal to, I believe, work over time. Yeah. Yeah, work over time. Yeah, work over time. Power is equal to work over time. And he has very, very explosive power in such a short amount of time. And so from there, I would see him with the Virgil Ortiz fight. Man. With the Ortiz fight, I see it being 50-50, honestly. I mean, we said Xander was a 50-50 fight, coin flip. But I also think we all had our doubts about Xander, being his first real elite opponent. But then again, you could say the same for Boots. That this was his first real elite opponent other than Stanionis. But for Virgil Ortiz, I don't think you can give him like the same doubt. I do think that you have to be careful with Virgil Ortiz. If you were Boots, I mean, Virgil Ortiz has great power, great, is shown to knock out 154 opponents as well. His only real tests were Madrimov and Boachuk, who are both world-class fighters. Madrimov obviously having a very, very close fight with Crawford, and then Boachuk not looking that good as he got knocked out by Shane Mosley Jr. However, during the Virgil Ortiz fight, he was able to knock him down 2 times in the early rounds. So ultimately, they face very, very good competition. And ultimately, you could say that the Boots Ortiz fight is a 50-50. However, I think you just got to give it to Boots, man. I mean, Ortiz has still not won the world title. He still hasn't had that experience fighting for a world title or ultimately fighting like a very, very elite opponent. And I think Boots' speed and his powers will be too much for Virgil. I think it'll be a very, very close fight. Both of them, meeting up in the center of the ring, just mano a mano, just beating each other up. But I think Boots' reflexes, his skills, and his speed will win him the fight. It could definitely go to the decision. It could definitely not go to the decision. However, I think Boots wins that fight by KO. And then I think from there, his future will be at either 160 or 168. Possibly in a few years, if Xander's still at 160. I know he said he wants to go to 175, but possibly we could see a rematch between Xander and Boots about like 3 4 years from now, if they both meet up on 160. However, if Xander gets titles, moves up to 160 and moves up to 175, I definitely see Boots in the far future, like 3 4 years from now, going up to 160 after becoming undisputed at 154, possibly becoming undisputed at 160, and then moving up to 168, win a title from there, and then maybe go to 175 to become a five weight division. I think that's just my future. That's just my like what I would like Boots to do. However, tonight we had a great fight as well. Great fight card as well. We had Emiliano Vargas. He won by fourth round KO, I believe, against Mills. That was a very tough fight for him, honestly. I mean, he was getting caught. I don't know why he turned southpaw. He should have just turned orthodox. He knocked him out orthodox. However, he had a very good strategy in there, even if he was southpaw. And then we saw Ben Whitaker's U.S. debut, and it was incredible. I mean, second round knockout, had a knockdown in the first round. He's definitely going to be a world champion at 175. Or if he goes up to cruiser, I could definitely see him becoming a champion there at cruiser as well. I think he should take one more step up fight, maybe like Willie Hutchinson, maybe like a Joshua Buatsi, maybe like a Callum Smith if he's not fighting Bivol for the WBO. Maybe he should fight someone, at that level in order to see if he's really elite or not. And then if he wins it by spectacular fashion, then why not give him someone like Bivol, Beterbiev, or Benavides? I mean, ultimately the sky's the limit for him. It's very flashy. People might hate him for that. But at the end of the day, we can't deny that his skills and his power and his reflexes are incredible. And even if you hate him, you have to watch him, man. He's just a surgeon. He dissects people like you've never seen before. And ultimately, you just have to love his style. You just have to. So I believe that's in the future. We also saw Jahi Tucker beat I don't remember his name. Serino? I believe that was his name. Very fought out win. Serino was definitely trying to be the bigger man, bigger explosive power. However, Tucker boxed beautifully with a good jab, good 1-2, good body work, to a majority decision. So this fight card was great. In other news, we also saw UFC Baku. We also saw Rafael Fiziev beat Manuel Torres in the second round by spinning back kick, spinning wheel kick, spinning heel kick. Yes, that one. Very, very good. Very good night of fights today. So that has been my afterthought and analysis of what to do next in the boxing scene. And here are my last couple of thoughts. I do believe that Boots has earned himself a spot in the pound for pound list. I do believe he's 8, 9, or 10. So I would definitely see him being pound for pound number one if he continues with these performances. He's definitely a future number one pound for pound great though, for sure. So that's been my aftermath analysis about Zayas versus Boots. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this little podcast, please like, subscribe, share the video, and leave a comment down below what you want to see next. I will be uploading some math videos. Don't worry, it's called math and stuff. It's not fights and stuff. Don't worry about it. I'll see you in the next one, and goodbye.